Ladies and gentlemen, YouTubers of all kind, welcome. As you might have seen, there's plenty of content creators and plenty of players out there making tier lists. It's tier list season. Everyone's talking about what characters should be buffed, what characters should be nerfed. But in my opinion, they're all missing the point. It's fun to talk about characters and whatnot, but what actually makes the game problematic right now is the system. And so that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about what changes I think can be made to the system of Dragon Ball FighterZ to put it in a better place than it is now. And, you know, some of this stuff you guys will have heard from my We'll Roll Back Fix It series, of course. Some of that stuff will appear here, but there will also be some new stuff that I didn't talk about before. So let's just get started. And of course, you already know what I'm starting with. Let's just go ahead and get it out of the way, right? EX moves, right? Huge problem in the game right now. Why are EX moves a problem? Okay, so their design philosophy behind EX moves was EX moves are supposed to be moves that you spend a bit of extra meter and you get better properties, right? That's pretty standard amongst fighting games. The problem is that they had a system in place for EX moves originally, and there were strong EXs before the season 3 change. I'm sure you guys probably have PTSD about getting hit by GT EX punches even before the patch, right? There were strong EXs, absolutely. But when they change things to be half a bar, that directly affects the risk reward associated with EX moves, right? Because the cost is lower. You're spending less, right? So you can press them more often. And with that comes some problems, right? In season 3, vanilla, it still wasn't out of control yet. But we were starting to see some very, very big issues with some EX moves. Biggest offender. Who remembers Base Vegeta EX kick? Remember that? Remember that? Base Vegeta EX kick was a move, right? A move that when they changed it to be half a bar it's issues. It's issues, right? Because now you're talking about a frame 4 reversal that gives you a full combo, right? For half a bar, right? But at least in season 3 vanilla, when you did that, right? When you did that, there was meter penalty. And so how it used to be was anytime you hit someone with an EX move, you pretty much didn't gain meter for the rest of the combo, right? And so that was a natural part of the risk reward associated with pressing EX moves. There was trade-offs. If I start with the EX move, yeah, sure, I might get a combo, might do this or that, but I don't gain meter for the rest of the combo. And that matters. That matters a lot. And then what did they do? They buffed EX moves again. And this is where I think things went extremely wrong, right? In 3.5, they made it so EX moves no longer have meter penalty based on the fact that it's an EX starter, but more so on the timing, right? And so like EX moves, when you start a combo with an EX move, you still gain meter. And that's a problem because essentially what they've done by doing that is they've made EX moves free, right? They've essentially made them free because now that you gain meter on the combo that you started the EX with, you're going to gain that half a bar and more back on the combo. You just will, right? On top of that, they've buffed actual EX moves as well. Like they've made, you know, given EX moves better properties. They've just pretty much property stacked on moves. You know, you guys will talk about Lab Coat Spin, how it has like 3 different properties on it. Like Lab Coat Spin is a low crush, it's an anti-air frame 1, and it's Ki Blast invulnerable, right? That's too many properties on one move. But it's not just moves like that. It's also moves like Roshi 22H, which is the frame 1 anti-air and a low crush and solo combos, right? For a high damage combo, too much. Videl 22H, invulnerable, frame 4, +3 on block, combos, right? It's also a cross-up. Too many properties on EX moves. And so they need to change EX moves in a big way. The number one thing that they need to do to change EX moves is bring back meter penalty. Like that's just, it just needs to, like, the game needs it. And I really do believe that. I think the moment they decided to remove meter penalty from the game, is where the real ugliness of some of these moves really got exposed. So my first change would be to bring back meter penalty and the way that it was done in season 3 before the 3.5 change. There's also more changes though that I would say probably push it in the right direction, but this one is by far the most important. The other thing is that I think EX moves, especially like if you're pressing a special move, right? that has a lot of properties to it, that has some type of invulnerability, or maybe it's a really high damage combo starter, or stuff like that, right? It should not be safe on block, right? That's another really big issue, right? It's really hard to punish a lot of EX moves, and the risk reward associated with punishing those EX moves is really fucked up, because if you try to punish someone's crazy ass EX move in the air, at best you're gonna get a JL punish, and that is very low damage compared to the 80% that they're gonna hit you for if they hit the EX move, right? So that's risk reward. And so like EX moves need more recovery, like pretty much universally. I think anytime you're pressing an EX move that has invulnerability in some way, right? Any type of invulnerability, that shit should not be -5. That shit on block. No. If you press an EX move that has invul states on block without an assist, you should be punished, right? You should just be punished. So yeah, there's a lot of different ways to make EX moves more punishable in general, but I really think that like it is crazy that people can press EX moves that have these crazy ass properties, and at worst they're -5 on block, and that's even if you're in position to take advantage of that -5, right? Because a lot of things get let rock without a punish in the first place, because they just don't have that much recovery. So like yeah, those are like the two big things. Those are like the two big things with EX moves, and then I think they would be in a much better place. Like it is it's ugly. It's ugly. Okay, next thing is assists, right? Right? I actually think that this needs changed. I would love for this to be changed in a meaningful way. Unfortunately, it's like pretty low likelihood. First thing is there should never be assists that do everything, right? So what you actually want to do is reintroduce trade-offs for assists, right? You should never have assists that do everything at once. You should not have an assist that is ridiculous and neutral, has ridiculous hit stun, can't be happy birthday, like, right? It's too much at once. It's doing too much. Covers characters' flaws too much. That's like why power level in the game is like so high, is because part of it is because assists just do so much, right? They do a lot. They do, and it's not even just Vegito. A lot of you are thinking, oh, that's just Vegito. No, it's not just Vegito. Why does Lab Coat have a 20 frame startup, 40 frame block stun assist? That also neutralizes key blasts. That also has ridiculous hitbox because it hits both sides. Why? Like, it just makes sense, right? There's more like it. And so, happy birthdays, right? We've been asking about this for a long time. Make people suffer the consequences of their actions. If you make a bad assist call, they should die. They should die. People should not have to perform 8 layers of wizardry in order to kill an assist. And so, like, how do you do that? You could change it so that, like, wall bounce is actually happy birthday, right? You could just make character, like, you just glue the back character to the point character during happy birthdays, right? And that fixes a lot, bro. Like, do you guys remember Taco at the World Finals when he happy birthdayed the 17, and 17 even experienced the SKD with the Gogeta, but then he didn't eat the level 3? Remember that? They should just be more consistent, right? Making happy birthdays more of an actual thing closes, it widens the skill gap, right? Because suddenly people that are really brain dead with their assist calls, they're just losing their assists more often, right? You already didn't let us target with Snap, because Snap is kind of a useless mechanic right now. So at the very least, make it so happy birthdays are actually punishing. Yeah, and I think that's like reasonable. You could argue that like defensive assists probably need like a change in and of themselves. This one isn't like, I mean, like it is not a coincidence that the best assists in the game are all defensive assists. But mostly, right, what makes assists so defensive, what makes the best assist in the game defensive assists, is the fact that there's a lot of assists that aren't supposed to be defensive that act as defensive assists. For example, right, even if your assist is not a DP, right, if it comes out in 19 frames, you can just mash that shit on defense, right? You can actually just mash that shit on defense and it will act as a defensive assist. And so they need to like attack the startup on some of these assists. Like it's too fast. Like it's way too fast. Like people being able to mash Beerus, right? It's not supposed to be a defensive assist, but it's 19 frames. So like, yeah, they're gonna mash it. Why wouldn't they? Right? And a lot of the neutral in the game is based on mash your neutral, mash your defensive assist. That is a lot of things, and that helps cover the also egregious EX moves that we talked about before. All this goes hand in hand. So yeah. And like there's a lot of adjustments you can make to assists, but I do think it is a point that like you know, needs to be talked about, because people don't really talk about it as a whole. They only talk about Vegito, right? But it's so much more than just Vegito in my eyes. So yeah, what's the next system mechanic? What system mechanic do you guys want next? What do you guys want next? I'll let you guys steer the conversation. What do you want next? Super dash revert to beta. Snap. Okay. Snap. Okay. I'm glad you brought this up. So Snap, my main issue with Snap right now is that it is what I would call a useless mechanic. And so what I mean by that, right? What I mean by that is that Snap, when they overreacted. So Snap obviously was the centralizing mechanic. So these are two opposite ends of the spectrum, right? There are centralizing mechanics and there are useless mechanics. They're two opposite ends of the spectrum. What they did with Snap is they took it from a centralizing mechanic to essentially useless one. The only time that Snap is useful is if you hit someone and you get a ton of blue life, because the only way you can justify snapping in a blue life character is if it's a significant amount of blue life. If I hit someone for 40% on an assist, I'm probably not snapping, because I have to sacrifice all of my advantage to create that situation. There's nothing guaranteed there. And so they need to make it so that there's a trade-off with Snap. Something, right? How could you do that? I mean, like you could straight up like make it where you have to spend something to create a situation. Like Inzim said that's a good idea. Sure, you could do that. I don't mind that, but like there are a lot of different ways to do it, I think. Especially in a game like Dragon Ball FighterZ, where like meter comes really easy. It's not hard to snap. Like a lot of characters would even be able to solo snap. Like a lot of characters in the game can solo snap right now. And so like if you just made it cost something, like it will probably be better. Level 3 snap. I don't know if 1 bar is enough. That's my issue. I don't know if 1 bar is enough. Maybe it should cost a little bit more. What if it was 1.5 bars? So it's exactly half of a level 3. 3 bars. I have a problem with saying 3 bars because to me level 3 Oki should just be a thing, right? They should just add it. They should add level 3 Oki back to more characters. So like 2 bars with meter penalty. Yeah, I mean if it costs meter, then it's all automatically gonna have meter penalty. I think that would be fine. I'll be fine with that. I think that's fine. I think that's actually like a pretty solid idea. Because like my issue is not that Snap is not strong enough, it's that it's like actually useless, right? Like it's like you should never want a mechanic in your game to feel useless. I think Snap right now feels kind of useless. It needs to be viable in some way, or else just remove the mechanic altogether. The worst thing that, bro, they said, yo, y'all hate Snap. Let's just give it delay wake up on Snap. It's so lazy the way they chose to change Snap. There were a lot of ways that they could have done it. Like S2 S2, if the lockout timer was cut in half, it would be much different than what we've done. I think if you make it like this, you probably don't lock out. You probably don't change the lockout. Do you change the lockout if you make it 2 bars? I actually don't know. You could. You could. You probably do. Like, you probably still make it 4 seconds. And then it's fine, because then you get one guaranteed mix-up. Right? That's what we're trying to create here. When you snap someone, right? You get one guaranteed mix-up. They can't guard cancel, they can't do it, right? They just have to hold that shit. That's the situation we're trying to create. The problem with previous snap was that it wasn't just one mix-up. It was likely 2 or 3, right? That's the issue. So if you cut the lockout, then I think it fixed that. Now they can guard cancel vanish even when locked out. Yes, they could still GC vanish, which is why I think it would be okay to have snap be viable. You still have an option to try to get out if you want to take the risk, right? You could still do that. And then even if you guard cancel vanish, well, if you guard cancel vanish, you might get past the lockout timer, but a lot of characters, you can structure your offense to deal with guard cancel vanish. Yeah, you have to spend 2 bars to deal with the 2 bar option. That's like pretty all right, I think. I think that's okay. But the game would be better with consistency. My problem with Dragon Ball FighterZ and why I don't want to play it, right, competitively, is because they have continually nerfed avenues of consistency as time has gone on. They've done it with Snap, they've done it with level 3 Oki, right? They just do that, right? Make the game more consistent. This makes the game a lot more consistent. It also widens the skill gap as well, but it also enables targeting, right? You can actually target problem characters again, because right now what happens is you snap them, right? And then you scramble for 8 seconds because their timing is variable. You might not even be able to get in that 8 seconds depending on what character it is. If you snap lab coat in, you can't even pressure her. You can't even really, like, you can't. Unless you're Gogeta Blue, you can just 2H underneath her. Like, she just gets to, yeah, that's crazy, right? If happy birthdays have real value, there'll be blue life on characters in the backline, making current snap in a way to lock that damage in. Would making snap on top of that cause issues? No, because if you make happy birthday stronger, more often than not, the assist will just die. They're more likely snap will not be involved in that situation, because the way I want happy birthdays to exist is that if your assist gets hit and I do the correct combo, they die most of the time. The amount of times that you're going to hit an assist and snap them will be severely reduced for happy birthday scenarios. Right? That's how I think it should be. People should be punished for their bad assist calls. Absolutely. There's not many things you want to be like Marvel, but happy birthday would really be just like Marvel. Yeah, I agree. They made happy birthday suck because of how assist takes a while to regen, so you can see why it sucks. I still think it feels really bad. I still think it feels really bad. Can we axe delay wake up timings? You probably can't get rid of it altogether. You could argue maybe less timings, but like I don't think you could get rid of it altogether. Probably not. Probably not. Let's talk about this shit. Oh wait, what actually? What mechanic do you guys want next? What did someone else say? Oh, air guard cancel. Oh god. I mean, they could just remove this, right? Or like at least give it a different input. Like, I don't think the game needs this mechanic. Honestly. Like, I don't think this needs to exist. Like, we don't need this. Does anyone need air guard cancel? Like, I know they put it in the game to in theory deal with the Gohan, like doing legs to jail you to the ground. But like, Do you realize? Does that actually happen? How many times have you guys seen a successful air guard cancel that was intentional? I would argue you probably haven't seen that very often at all. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like you can make it a different input so it happens by accident less, but like, do we really need air guard cancel, especially if they're gonna nerf lab code anyway? I don't know. I feel like it's still probably not needed, but maybe with their changes that it will be needed. Raw tag. So like raw tag's an interesting one because like with all mechanics, right? I don't want it to be useless. A lot of changes that I've seen people propose for raw tag, they want it just like completely nerfed into the ground, unusable. I don't think you want any of your mechanics to feel like that. So like raw tag is in an interesting place. You could give it small amounts of landing recovery. Like not as much as special tag. Make it function like guard cancel where it resets the neutral if you hit. I don't know if that would work. I don't know if that would work. You could attack its reward though. Like attacking its if you attack its risk, then I think that raw tag should have landing recovery, probably maybe like 5 frames. I think that's fine. You could nerf the damage. You can nerf the damage on it. So like it's like a min damage starter on raw tag if it hits. I think that would also be fine. But I don't think you want to like nerf it so hard that it's not used. Make tag cost a bar? No. I think that's not. Yeah. Air guard cancel and GC vanish. You think they're getting ready to put a form of snap back in the game, but they never did. Yeah, I mean, I think GC vanish like snap. If in season 2 you drop GC vanish in, things look a lot different for sure. But like it still probably needs nerfed. But people would still reflect raw tag if they get a neutral reset out of it. Yeah, they would, but like I don't know if that's the right avenue, honestly. I don't know. I don't want to I don't think I want to commit to that. I'm not sure, man. Really not. My intuition is that like you just shouldn't get as much reward for pressing raw tag. Because I don't think they're ever gonna make it punishable. I honestly don't think they should make it punishable. I don't think they'll ever make it punishable. They can make it like I said, the landing recovery thing would be one thing, because when you raw tag, your character still has air resources, and you can still like, you can still do stuff after raw tag. You still have your air actions. You don't understand the problem. Raw tag is definitely a little strong. It's definitely a little strong. It's the best DP in the game. It should always show up if they're raw tagging like 100% of the time. What do you mean? You mean the X? Oh, change the indicator? Yeah, I don't know. That's hard to code, I think. I think that's hard to code. That would be nice, but I think it's hard to code. Because there are gonna people that are gonna hold raw tag during block strings, intending to tag, and then react to you not doing anything and then just tap it instead. You know what I mean? I don't know how they would code that. If they hold it long enough so it's in the raw tag window, now it shows up, but if they stop, it stops. Okay, I mean, I still think that defensive RPS associated with tag and assist call would still happen. I do think it would still happen, because there are people right now that press assist on defense that don't mash it. They do literally just hold, and then whenever they see the pressure is gone, they release and tap. But yeah, I'm not sure if I think it would still happen. The point characters shouldn't immediately be invincible. That would be kind of interesting, but I don't know how they would go about that. What do you think about raw tag reward? That was part of the thing that I said. Like, I think like you could make it have a small amount of landing recovery, so people aren't getting like just straight up mixed after blocking a successful raw tag, right? Like someone getting high load off of getting raw tag is kind of cap. That's kind of cap. So like that's what I'm saying, like a small amount of landing recovery, like 4 frames maybe, like nothing too crazy. Nothing too insane. I don't want it to be like really bad. And then like maybe reduce the damage a little bit on combos on raw tag. Now in terms of Inzem's idea where we talk about the indicator, I just don't know. I don't know about how that would work in coding. Because right now, as it stands, right, you do a string on someone, they're holding tag, right? You back off because you're expecting tag, they tap assist, or you leave a gap to see if they tag and they tap assist. How does the indicator stop that from happening? I guess I'm not getting conceptually how you think it's different. People can do like 5L call assist dash. Don't they? You can already do that though. Consistency in the situation. Yeah, I feel like there's not there. I don't think it's possible. I just don't think it's possible to code the game in that way. I think if it were, I would agree with your change. I just don't think that's possible. I don't think they're going to be able to do that. Sometimes they'll be tagging out, but the indicator won't show. Yeah, because some people just press quick tag, which would like that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not like they would take quick tag out of the game. And if you're someone that is just pressing quick tag once you're actionable, there is no X. You just press quick tag and quick tag happens. That's what I'm saying. I feel like it's still an issue. It's still gonna be a problem either way. You be holding it down and it won't show. Okay, well that's just a bug fix then. Sure. I'm okay with them fixing that bug if it exists. That's okay. The other stuff though, I don't know if it'll be possible though. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. By the way, I don't think you do all 3 of these. I think you like fix the bug and then one of the 2. I don't think you need to do both. For what it's worth. No, you should get a combo. You should get a combo. You could argue that the reward on that combo should be a little reduced. But yeah. I mean, like, what if you didn't even do damage? What if you got meter penalty off a raw tag combo? Like, yeah, you don't spend meter for it, but like, what if there was something similar? It would probably be a little bit better risk reward with that as well. I don't know. A lot of things to talk about with that for sure. But it's not super egregious. It's not super egregious. Not huge changes needed. This shit. Holy fuck. Holy fuck, bro. This could be a whole video on its own. Holy fuck. First of all, biggest change. Please, bro. Please, for the love of God. No more -1. No more 0 on block. No. No, 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 no. Make it stop. Make it stop. Make it stop, bro. Tired of this shit. Empty Vanish. Empty Vanish is a direct result of sparking, but I don't know if it should go underneath the sparking tab. I'm not sure. Cause like I don't, in my eyes, there's no way they're gonna take Empty Vanish out of the game. There's like 0 chance, right? Look, Empty Vanish will still be in the game, so maybe it should have its own section. Just lock you out of Empty Vanish for like 3 seconds after spark activation. Nah, I think that's I think that's like not direct enough. I don't know. Maybe it's too direct. Maybe it's too direct. I don't know about that, because that would also fuck up some combos too. Like I have sparking whiff routes that use Empty Vanish, which would be pretty tough. The issue isn't Empty Vanish, it's spark and then immediate turn steal. I think Empty Vanish is problematic as well, but we'll talk about that in its own section, right? But making it -5, that changes the immediate turn steal, right? Does it not? It does. I mean, in fact, this was already a thing. This was already a thing in a previous version of the game where you sparked, you were -5, and like that shit was not nearly as bad. Not even nearly. Empty Vanish costs the same as GC Vanish. When you get hit by spark, yeah, okay, sure. But at least you got it for getting hit. I'm saying like you safe jump spark now and it still happens to you. Because people can do mash assist Empty Vanish and like you just RPS where the risk reward is super in their favor. Even still. I mean, the end of the day, right? The mix up, the risk reward associated with the Empty Vanish post spark scramble is like definitely the problem. But I don't know if that's a sparking change or if that's an Empty Vanish change. I don't know what umbrella I want to put it under. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I think sparking has too much to it. Sparking is like 8 buffs. Sparking is like 8 buffs at once, bro. I don't think it needs all of them. I would actually like... Damn. I'm like thinking... I'm trying to think about like blue life recovery. Would I want that changed? Would I want that change in spark? It would be one of the only ways to regen blue life. It's either spark or, but it's definitely too fast though. Yeah, can and likely though I think are like, yeah, no, they can. I think they could probably code just about any change we asked them for. The problem is like how likely are they to code that, right? It's more of my bigger issue, but ideally, sure, yeah. What if man, I don't know, there's a lot of problems with sparking, bro. I like don't even know where I want to start, bro. I don't even know where... I think it's too many things, because it's like blue life recovery, right? More damage, more meter, you get access to Empty Vanish, you get special cancel on 6M, you get jump cancel on block, you get assist recovery. There's so many things, right? I think you could nerf like any 2 of them. What if you didn't recover blue life if you got comboed while in sparking? So it would regen if you're in neutral state or if you're hitting them. But if you're getting hit, then it doesn't recover. We definitely have to nerf the mix-up of Empty Vanish. We're gonna do Empty Vanish after this, but since you already build meter in Spark, why not make supers stop Spark healing? What do you mean? If that happens, they would probably want it to recover if you're solo. Fuck that. Fuck that. If you have Spark limit break on a character and you get comboed by your opponent, you deserve to lose. You shouldn't be given more chances for that. So yeah, that's my idea. That's what I would want them. That's like one of the changes I would like them to have. The Empty Vanish section directly affects this section though, for sure though. You already build meter in Spark. Vegito level 1 literally stops sparking healing during his animation. You mean while Vegito is sparked or while he's hitting an opponent? This makes games faster, by the way. This change makes games faster. For all of you guys that seem so concerned about games take too long, games take too long, this makes games faster. You don't know how to explain this? Does my change make sense to you? Do you understand what I'm saying here? You're saying you already build meter in Spark. Why not make super stop Spark healing? I mean, that seems like two ends of the... I don't know if you're talking about the offender or the defender. I'm not sure. I'm not sure which one you're talking about. Change back the thing about sparking time extending while doing damage. Oh, the limit break change? He wants supers to negate healing. Oh, I'm taking it a step further, Senior. I'm not saying that supers should stop recovery, right? That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying it's more than that. It should be anytime they get comboed while in sparking. The regen is just not a thing. So supers would be included with that. So. Yeah. Sparking seems the right level of powerful compared to like X Factor. I actually disagree. I think Sparking is stronger in relation to this game than X Factor was to Marvel. You're trying to think for both sides of the fight? No, fuck them, bro. If you spark and get hit afterwards, that's your fault. Especially with Empty Vanish in the game. That is completely on you, in my eyes. Hold that. Your character's dead. Oh, as a Please die. Is there anything else I'd want changed? -5 for the safe jump situation. Regen to stop while being comboed, and then I think they're probably if we're making Empty Vanish its own section, then we can go from there. It's a lot of meter gain though. Like it's a lot of meter gain. It's a lot of damage. You just become a super character. It's fucking crazy. Oh, this. Oh my god, guys. Oh no, bro. Hell no, bro. Who asked for this change? Who asked for this shit? Who? Hell no, bro. Get this shit out of my game. What the fuck? You got me fucked up. You got me fucked up, man. Hell no. You got me fucked up. Get that shit out of here. No, absolutely not. Okay, empty vanish, right? So the only thing that would make empty vanish reasonable is an explicit lockout. That's probably the only thing you could do. How else could you change empty vanish? I don't think there's like any other way you could change it. Like just from a coding perspective, like you can't make it start up later invulnerability wise because it's tied to regular vanish. So I don't think you could do that. Empty vanish is sick though. It's the problem. It's the problem. What if how could they code this? So okay, so here's the lockout, right? So here's the lockout, but what if there was a way to code it so like if you did a transition, like let's say you sparking and you empty vanish immediately and you put your opponent into a block string or you get a combo. If there was a way that they could recognize and make it so you had meter penalty for the rest of the combo when that happened, that would probably be helpful, but I don't know if that's possible to code, to be honest. I'm not sure. Yeah, I mean, you could just make it so empty vanish had level 3 meter penalty. You could probably do that. But is that enough? Is that enough? More recovery on spark, wouldn't that help? Already did that. But this what we're talking about is on hit. This is on block. Right? This is on block. So this is if you safe jump spark. Right? They're -5. That changes that situation. This is if you get hit by the spark and they empty vanish on top of you for a mix up. Right? Because that's what happens. That's the biggest issue with the game right now is that you're winning. They press spark, empty vanish, right? And it's their turn. And the reward off of that combo is the highest damaging, the most meter building, all that all at once, right? That's the issue. That's the problem. So like, yeah, it doesn't affect this. It still should, there still should be something there probably. So if you lock out empty vanish for a set amount of time post sparking empty vanish, you could probably do that. If they don't do that, then I would like to see them attack the reward on empty vanish, whether that's affecting how assists are called, or like the amount of meter that you gain or the damage that you do for that combo. Really though, it would still be advantage though. It would still the advantage reversal is the worst part, is that sparking gets pressed. Now it's whoever pressed sparking, it's their turn immediately. That's the problem. If you do the lockout post activation, then it stops that, which is like the biggest problem. Yeah. I'm gonna put an asterisk on this one. But yeah. Okay, limit break. Okay, what's next? What's next? What is next? Don't need limit break in this fucking game, man. Just take it out of the game. Only leave it for TN. You know what? You could just, okay. How about this? The damage buff should not be a thing. You could maybe justify giving the anchor character a bar. Maybe. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how I feel about that. But giving them damage buff is no. Absolutely not. Fuck no. Don't do that shit. Don't do that. Don't do that. Hell no. Whiff canceling, like auto combos and stuff. Yeah, I would really like for auto combos to not turn around. I would like for auto combos to not switch sides, to be honest, especially if they're gonna make them anti-airs. If they're gonna make anti-air auto combos, they definitely should not U-turn. Like, that is, yeah. That is annoying. Autocom is the only other thing you can think of for system mechanics. Is that true? What else is there? I mean, there's like DR. There's just got here. Do you mind showing the rest of the docs so far? You can just watch the bot. All right, whatever. So selfish, Jesus. You just unbelievable. Yeah, that's the only thing I'll change on auto combos, I think. Is there anything else? What other system mechanics are there? Let me check on this real quick. System gauges, damage, defense. SD is fine. Leave SD alone. The game is built around SD. You can't really change it without literally making it a different game. I think you have to leave SD as it is, as silly as it is sometimes. Super dash clashing. It's annoying. I don't know how they're gonna fix it though. You keep the damage on the anti-air auto combo. Yeah, it's fine. I mean, it takes a long time to access those. Like, getting to the third hit of auto combo takes a while, right? The problem is that if they're just swinging and they're flailing, it turns around and it anti-airs you, and then you take the damage. If it doesn't auto correct, then they just whiff it, right? They probably get hit in the back and they get punished for it because it doesn't turn around. Assuming the hitboxes are reasonable. I mean, that's a completely different story though. They could definitely make some adjustments to some of these auto combo hitboxes, but it just be like that. It just be like that. That's really when it feels bad though. But I don't have a problem with someone pressing an anti-air, being correct, and being rewarded for it. The problem is how easy it is to anti-air. There's a lot of frame one anti-airs. There's a lot of auto combos that have ridiculously large hitboxes that whenever they turn around, you just get fucking smoked, right? That's the real issue in my eyes. What else? Anything else? So I would say like the clash system I have an issue with currently because like it just feels like characters trade a lot more now than clash. I would like for there to be more clashes on button to button. Button to special is really weird though. Button to probably just adjust button to special flash. I don't know how they're gonna do that though. That's like hard to do. That's not an easy thing. Yeah, I mean, Dragon Rush is what I was gonna talk about next. So like, you know, here's something interesting. Did you guys know that Dragon Rush? Did you guys know that in an overwhelming majority of cases, your pre-jump frames are not Dragon Rush invul, right? They're invul to throws, but throws exclude Dragon Rush. So there are probably times where you're like, I jumped that. I jumped DR. It's because your pre-jump frames are not invul to DR. So I was thinking, like, should they change that? If they do, then it buffs defense. So I don't know if they should actually, to be honest. But yeah, more recovery, sure. I think we just say more recovery in general. Probably for both. Maybe. How minus is DR on whiff right now? Can someone check? How much what's DR on whiff right now? Yeah, I know it's negative, but how negative is it? It matters. How negative is it? If you're jumping DR, you should be able to react to it. Hello? Do we not know what OSs are or what? No, it's yeah, I don't I'm not sure. It says right here it says Dragon Rush is 19 startup, 9 active, 24 recovery. So if you completely whiff a DR, then it is 43, 52. Minus 52. That's on ground DR. That's probably fine. That's probably fine. But air DR definitely like needs. I don't know what the hell they have going on with that shit. I have no fucking clue what they have going on with that shit. I really don't. You want to know what the point of adding key charge DR is? Broly bad. Give option to deal with Broly. Broly's the reason. For sure. But yeah, so there's that. And then is there anything else? I think we've like pretty much covered most things, I think. Sparking, empty vanish, it's fine. Guard cancel is fine. We're gonna need GC vanish, whatever, if snap becomes a thing, so I think we can leave that. I really don't like that. I think GC Vanish is the one that you should reset back to neutral on, actually. GC Vanish is the one that I think if it hits, then you should reset back to neutral. I really don't like the post GC Vanish scramble. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of it at all. It'd be like that though. I think that's pretty much everything though in terms of the system. I mean, this is a lot of stuff, honestly. And unfortunately, the situation that we run into, guys, is that all this shit that we asked for, they're not going to change any of it. That's tough. That's tough. I'm sorry, friends. I'm sorry, friends. They're going to make empty vanish build you meter next patch. That's what's gonna happen next patch, bro. It's gonna be ugly. It's gonna be ugly. Yeah, I can't really think of anything else, honestly. I think we covered most things that matter a lot. They're gonna make guard cancel vanish have an empty vanish version in sparking. Jesus, that would be pretty ugly. That would be pretty ugly. But yeah, some things while they have silly things about them, like someone said SD, obviously, but like, yeah, I don't think, I think like it's so much of a foundation of the game. Like there's not really a lot that you can you can change about it. I mean, it's just the nature of having a tracking move, a tracking move in a game that has like, you know, characters are flying across the screen and shit. Like, empty vanish is the most broken button in the entire game. The sparking button, empty vanish is second. Pressing the sparking button is the most broken button in the game because it gives you empty vanish and 7 other buffs. It gives you 7 other buffs on top of giving you empty vanish. Imagine that. Imagine, bro, sparking would be insane if it just did the get off me and empty vanish alone. But it's that plus damage plus meter plus cancel options. But it's crazy. This mechanic is nuts. Like, I don't understand. I don't get it. Even X Factor, bro. X Factor is like 3 properties. You get like 3 properties on X Factor, maybe 4. You get damage buff, speed buff. You can guard cancel X Factor, so you can do it at a block stun, and you negate chip. That's it. Sparking, you get 8 buffs. I counted for pressing sparking. And that's a mechanic that you have to deal with every single game, which is crazy. Regen health. So yeah, they regen health, but it's not as egregious, right? It's not nearly as egregious because if you hit an X Factor character in Marvel, they still die. I actually think theirs stops when you hit them. I could be wrong on that, but no one, I've never seen someone in an X Factor live a combo because of X Factor regen. I've never seen that. I've been watching Marvel for a long time, but feel free to check my facts on that. I'm not sure if that's actually the case, but it feels like if you hit someone in X Factor, they just die either way. Like no matter what, like that shit is not saving you. Yeah, I think that's it. I think that's it for